First contact. The red dwarf star cast an eerie crimson glow over the landscape of Novus Prime, painting the alien world in shades of rust and shadow. Dr. Lyra Chen stood at the edge of the colony's perimeter, her eyes fixed on the horizon where the planet's twin moons hung low in the sky. The air was thick with the scent of alien vegetation, a constant reminder of how far they were from Earth. Lyra's handheld scanner beeped softly, drawing her attention back to the present. She frowned at the readings, her mind racing to interpret the data. Something was entering the planet's atmosphere, and it wasn't one of their supply ships. "Control, this is Dr. Chen," she spoke into her comm unit. "I'm picking up an anomalous reading. Possible unidentified object entering atmosphere at coordinates 27 to 4218. There was a moment of static before a response came through. "Copy that, Dr. Chen. We're seeing it too. Return to base immediately for debriefing." As Lyra made her way back to the colony's central hub, her heart raced with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. After 5 years on Novus Prime, the human settlement had yet to encounter any signs of intelligent alien life. Whatever was happening now could change everything. Inside the control room, Colony Director Marcus Hale stood before a large holographic display, his face etched with concern. "Dr. Chen, glad you're here. What do you make of this?" Lyra studied the trajectory of the object, her scientific mind already formulating theories. "It's decelerating too rapidly for a natural object, and the heat signature, it's unlike anything in our database." "You think it's a ship?" Hale asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Lyra nodded slowly. "An artificial construct at the very least, and given its controlled descent, I'd say whoever or whatever is piloting it is still alive." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity had long dreamed of first contact, but now that the moment seemed to be upon them, uncertainty hung heavy in the air. "We need to assemble a team," Lyra said, breaking the silence. "If it is a ship, and if there are survivors, they may need our help." Hale hesitated, weighing the risks. "And if they're hostile?" Lyra met his gaze, her determination unwavering. "Then we need to be there to protect the colony. Either way, we can't just sit here and wait." After a moment, Hale nodded. "Assemble your team, Dr. Chen, but be cautious. The fate of our colony could rest on how we handle this." Within the hour, Lyra led a small team of scientists and security personnel towards the projected landing site. The colony's rover moved swiftly across the alien terrain, its powerful lights cutting through the perpetual twilight of Novus Prime. As they crested a hill, Lyra's breath caught in her throat. There, in a small valley below, lay a ship unlike anything humans had ever constructed. Its sleek, organic lines seemed to shimmer in the dim light, as if the vessel itself was alive. "My God," whispered Dr. Elias Reeves, the team's xenobiologist. "It's beautiful." Lyra nodded, her mind racing with questions. How far had this ship traveled? What kind of beings could have built such a craft? As the rover approached, a hatch on the alien vessel began to open. Lyra's hand instinctively moved to the environmental seal on her suit, double-checking that it was secure. The atmosphere of Novus Prime was breathable for humans, but who knew what these visitors might need? A figure emerged from the ship, moving with an otherworldly grace that immediately marked it as non-human. It was tall and slender, with iridescent skin that seemed to shift colors in the light. 4 arms extended from its torso, and its large, almond-shaped eyes blinked curiously at the human delegation. Lyra took a deep breath and stepped forward. This was the moment that would define her career, perhaps even the future of humanity. She raised her hand in what she hoped was a universal gesture of peace. "Welcome to Novus Prime," she said, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "I am Dr. Lyra Chen of Earth. We come in peace and offer our assistance." The alien tilted its head, studying Lyra intently. Then, to everyone's amazement, it spoke in a melodic voice that seemed to resonate in their minds as much as in their ears. "Greetings, Dr. Lyra Chen of Earth. I am Zaxar, Science Officer of the Stellar Confluence. We thank you for your welcome and your offer of assistance. Lyra blinked in surprise. You speak our language. Zaxar's skin rippled in what might have been amusement. We have been observing your transmissions for some time. Our ship's systems allowed us to learn your languages quickly. We had hoped to make a more formal first contact, but circumstances forced our hand. What circumstances? Lyra asked, her scientific curiosity overriding protocol. Our ship was damaged by an unexpected solar flare from your star, Zaxar explained. We were fortunate to find your colony. Without a safe place to land and repair our systems, we might have been lost. Lyra nodded, her mind already racing with the implications. We'll do everything we can to help. But I have to ask, why are you here? In this star system, I mean. Zaxar's eyes seemed to sparkle with an inner light. We are explorers, Dr. Chen. Much like you, we seek to understand the universe and all its wonders. When we detected signs of your colony, we knew we had to make contact. As Zaxar spoke, more of the alien crew emerged from the ship. Lyra was struck by their diversity. Each seemed unique in coloration and features, yet they moved with a unified purpose. Dr. Chen, Elias whispered urgently. We should report back to the colony. They need to know about this. Lyra nodded, but found herself reluctant to leave. There was so much to learn, so many questions to ask. She turned back to Zaxar. We need to inform our leaders of your arrival. Will you and your crew be all right here for now? We can return with supplies and equipment to help with your repairs. Zaxar made a gesture that Lyra interpreted as agreement. We will be fine, Dr. Chen. Our life support systems are still functional. We look forward to further discourse with your people. As Lyra and her team prepared to return to the colony, she couldn't shake the feeling that everything was about to change. The existence of the stellar confluence proved that humanity was not alone in the universe. But it was the way Zaxar had looked at her, with a curiosity that mirrored her own, that truly excited her. This wasn't just first contact. It was the beginning of a grand adventure, one that would push the boundaries of human knowledge and experience. And Lyra Chen was determined to be at the forefront of it all. As the rover pulled away, Lyra looked back at the alien ship and its crew. Zaxar raised one of its four arms in what seemed to be a gesture of farewell. Lyra returned the wave, a smile playing on her lips. The journey back to the colony was filled with excited chatter as the team debated the implications of their encounter. Lyra, however, remained quiet, her mind replaying every moment of the interaction with Zaxar. When they finally reached the colony, they were met with a mix of excitement and fear. News of the alien arrival had spread quickly, and colonists gathered around the returning team, hungry for information. Director Hale was waiting in the control room, his face a mask of controlled anxiety. Report, Dr. Chen. What are we dealing with? Lyra took a deep breath and began her explanation, detailing the appearance of the aliens, their ship, and the conversation with Zaxar. As she spoke, she could see the tension in Hale's shoulders slowly easing. So they're peaceful? He asked when she had finished. They appear to be, Lyra confirmed. They're scientists, explorers like us. Their ship was damaged, and they need our help to repair it. Hale nodded slowly, processing the information. This is unprecedented. We need to contact Earth immediately. In the meantime, we'll need to set up proper protocols for interaction. Dr. Chen, I want you to lead our diplomatic efforts with these aliens. Lyra felt a surge of excitement at the prospect. Of course, Director. I think it's crucial that we approach this with an open mind. The potential for scientific and cultural exchange is enormous. Agreed, Hale said, but we must also be cautious. Set up a quarantine zone around their ship. All interactions should be monitored and recorded. And Dr. Chen, be careful. We're in uncharted territory here. As Lyra left the control room to begin preparations for further contact, her mind was already racing with possibilities. The universe had just become a much larger, much more exciting place. And she, Dr. Lyra Chen, was standing at the threshold of a new era for humanity. Little did she know that her encounter with Zaxxar was just the beginning. The bond forming between human and alien would soon be tested in ways neither could imagine, as the very fate of both their peoples hung in the balance. But for now, as the red dwarf star of Novus Prime dipped below the horizon, casting the alien world into night, hope and excitement filled the air. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, and nothing would ever be the same again. Cosmic convergence. As the twin moons of Novus Prime cast their ethereal glow over the alien landscape, Dr. Lara Chen found herself standing once again before the shimmering hull of the stellar confluence. The past week had been a whirlwind of activity, filled with cautious exchanges and tentative steps towards understanding between humans and their newfound alien visitors. Lara's heart raced with a mixture of scientific curiosity and an emotion she couldn't quite name as she waited for Zaxxar to emerge from the ship. The alien scientist had quickly become her primary point of contact, their conversations ranging from complex astrophysics to the simple joys of discovery that seemed to unite their species. "Greetings, Dr. Chen." Zaxxar's melodic voice preceded their appearance. The alien's iridescent skin shimmered in the moonlight, creating a mesmerizing display of colors. "I trust you're ready for today's exchange." Lara nodded, a smile playing on her lips. "Always, Zaxxar. Though I have to admit, I'm a little nervous about this neural interface you've proposed." Zaxxar's forearms moved in a gesture that Lyra had come to recognize as reassurance. "The synapse synchronizer is completely safe, I assure you. It will allow us to share knowledge and experiences far more efficiently than verbal communication alone." As they made their way to the makeshift laboratory that had been set up between the human colony and the alien ship, Lara couldn't help but marvel at how quickly things had progressed. The initial fear and suspicion from some of the colonists had given way to cautious optimism as the potential benefits of this cosmic encounter became clear. Inside the lab, a team of human and alien scientists waited, their excitement palpable. At the center of the room stood 2 chairs, connected by a web of glowing filaments that pulsed with an otherworldly energy. "Ladies and gentlemen," Lyra addressed the gathered team, her voice steady despite her nerves. "Today, we embark on an unprecedented journey of interspecies understanding. What we learn here could revolutionize not just our scientific knowledge, but our very conception of the universe and our place in it." As Lyra took her seat, Zaxxar settled into the chair opposite her. The alien's large, expressive eyes met hers, conveying a sense of shared anticipation. "Remember," Zaxxar said softly, "the synapse synchronizer doesn't just transmit information. It allows for a deep, empathic connection. You may experience memories, emotions, even sensations that are wholly alien to you. Embrace them, learn from them, but don't lose yourself in them." Lara nodded, taking a deep breath as the technicians began the activation sequence. The filaments connecting the chairs glowed brighter, humming with energy. She felt a tingling sensation at the base of her skull, which quickly spread throughout her body. And then suddenly, she wasn't just Lyra Chen anymore. She was soaring through the cosmos, witnessing the birth and death of stars. She felt the exhilaration of discoveries made on 1,000 alien worlds. The vastness of space and time unfolded before her, seen through eyes that perceived spectrums of light invisible to humans. But more than that, she felt Zaxxar's emotions. The wonder of first contact, the loneliness of deep space travel, the burning curiosity that drove them to explore the unknown. It was overwhelming, beautiful, and utterly transformative. In that moment of cosmic convergence, Laura understood that the universe was far more vast, more diverse, and more interconnected than humanity had ever imagined. As the connection began to fade, Lyra became aware of tears streaming down her face. She opened her eyes to find Zaxxar looking at her with an expression that could only be described as awe. "Dr. Chen," Zaxxar's voice was filled with emotion. We had no idea. Your species, your world, you've overcome so much. Your resilience, your determination, your capacity for growth in the face of adversity. It's unlike anything we've encountered before." Lyra smiled through her tears. "And your knowledge, your technology, the sheer scope of your understanding of the cosmos, it's breathtaking, Zaxar. I think we have so much to learn from each other." As the rest of the team rushed to record their findings and check their vital signs, Lyra and Zaxar remained connected by something deeper than the synapse synchronizer's fading energy. They had glimpsed the true potential of their alliance, the cosmic dance of knowledge and culture that could elevate both their species. But even as hope and excitement filled the air, a shadow loomed on the horizon. Unbeknownst to the team on Novus Prime, their groundbreaking experiment had sent ripples through the fabric of space-time, awakening ancient forces that had lain dormant for eons. In the depths of space, something stirred. A cosmic anomaly, born from the convergence of human determination and alien wisdom, began to grow. It was beautiful, terrible, and utterly beyond the comprehension of either species alone. As Lyra and Zaxar basked in the afterglow of their shared experience, neither could have imagined the challenges that lay ahead. The bond they had forged would soon be tested in ways they couldn't possibly anticipate. Back in the colony, alarms began to blare. Director Hale's voice crackled over the comm system, tense and urgent. "Dr. Chen, we're detecting massive energy fluctuations in the nearby star system. Whatever you just did, I think it's having some unintended consequences." Lyra and Zaxar exchanged a look of concern. The journey they had embarked upon was only beginning, and the fate of both their peoples now hung in the balance. As the twin moons of Novus Prime continued their celestial dance overhead, a new chapter in the cosmic story of humanity and their alien allies was about to unfold. The universe, it seemed, had taken notice of their convergence, and its response would reshape the destiny of both species forever. Little did they know, the true test of their newfound alliance was yet to come. The cosmic anomaly growing in the depths of space was more than just a scientific curiosity. It was a harbinger of a challenge that would push the boundaries of both human ingenuity and alien wisdom. As night fell on Novus Prime, Lyra found herself standing at the edge of the colony, gazing up at the star-studded sky. Zaxar joined her, their presence a comforting reminder of the bond they now shared. "What do you think it means, Zaxar?" Lyra asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "These energy fluctuations, could our experiment have caused this?" Zaxar's skin rippled with patterns that Lyra now recognized as deep contemplation. "The universe is full of mysteries, Dr. Chen. Perhaps this is not a consequence, but an invitation. A cosmic challenge set before us to see if our species are truly ready for the next step in our evolution." Lyra nodded, a mix of fear and excitement coursing through her veins. Whatever lay ahead, she knew that the key to facing it lay in the unprecedented cooperation between humans and aliens. As she stood there, side by side with Zaxar, Lyra Chen realized that they were standing at the threshold of a new era, one that would redefine the very meaning of humanity's place in the cosmos. The stars above seemed to shine brighter, as if bearing witness to this pivotal moment in the history of two species. The cosmic convergence had begun, and its echoes would resonate across the galaxy, heralding the dawn of a new age of interstellar cooperation and discovery. Quantum entanglement crisis. The skies above Novus Prime erupted in a dazzling display of cosmic fireworks, casting an eerie glow over the faces of Dr. Lyra Chen and her alien counterpart, Zaxar. The energy fluctuations they had detected earlier had escalated into a full-blown spatial anomaly, tearing rifts in the very fabric of spacetime. By the cosmic weave, Zaxar breathed, their iridescent skin pulsing with patterns of alarm. "I've never seen anything like this in all my cycles of exploration." Lyra's mind raced, piecing together the puzzle before them. "It's as if the quantum entanglement we experienced through the synapse synchronizer has somehow cascaded on a cosmic scale," she mused, her voice a mixture of awe and trepidation. Alarms blared across the human colony and the alien ship alike. Director Hale's voice crackled over the comm system, strained with urgency. "Dr. Chen, we're detecting massive gravitational distortions. If this continues, it could tear Novus Prime apart. As if to punctuate his words, a tremor shook the ground beneath their feet. In the distance, fissures began to appear in the planet's surface, glowing with an otherworldly energy. "We need to act fast," Lyra said, turning to Zaxar. "Your people have explored more of the cosmos than we have. Have you ever encountered anything similar?" Zaxar's large, expressive eyes flickered with a mix of emotions. Lyra was only beginning to understand. "There are legends among my people," they began hesitantly, "of ancient beings who could manipulate the quantum fabric of reality itself. We call them the cosmic architects, but they were thought to have vanished eons ago." As they spoke, a holographic display sprang to life between them, projected from Zaxar's handheld device. It showed intricate patterns swirling in three-dimensional space, eerily similar to the anomalies now threatening Novus Prime. "The hyperdimensional nexus," Zaxar explained, gesturing to the hologram. "A theoretical construct that could connect all points in spacetime. Our scientists believed it to be the ultimate goal of the cosmic architects." Lyra's eyes widened as she studied the display. "Wait a minute," she muttered, her fingers flying over her own datapad. "These patterns, they're not random. They're following a complex mathematical sequence. It's like the universe is trying to communicate with us." As if in response to her words, the anomalies in the sky shifted, coalescing into a swirling vortex of energy. At its center, a shape began to form, a massive crystalline structure that pulsed with otherworldly power. "The quantum nexus core," Zaxar whispered in awe. "It's not just a legend, it's real, and somehow, our combined technologies have awakened it." Lyra's mind raced with the implications. If we could harness that power, we might be able to stabilize the anomalies and save Novus Prime. But the energy readings are off the charts. We'd need a way to interface with it safely. Zaxar's skin rippled with a pattern Lyra now recognized as determination. "The synapse synchronizer," they said. "If we modify it to handle the increased neural load, we might be able to create a bridge between our minds and the quantum nexus core. But the risks," Lyra began, only to be cut off by another violent tremor. In the distance, she could see the colony's protective dome beginning to crack under the strain of the gravitational distortions. "We don't have a choice," Zaxar insisted. "Our species came together in the spirit of exploration and discovery. Now, we must unite to face this crisis. Together, Lyra." The use of her first name wasn't lost on Lyra. In that moment, she realized that their bond had grown beyond mere scientific collaboration. There was a depth of trust and understanding between them that transcended species. "Together," she agreed, her voice firm with resolve. As they raced to modify the synapse synchronizer, the situation on Novus Prime grew increasingly dire. The planet's twin moons had begun to drift from their orbits, pulled by the immense gravitational forces of the anomaly. Time itself seemed to be fluctuating, with some colonists reporting experiencing moments of temporal displacement. In a makeshift lab at the edge of the colony, Lyra and Zaxar worked feverishly to adapt their technology. Human ingenuity melded with alien wisdom as they pushed the boundaries of what was thought possible. "It's ready," Lyra announced, her voice hoarse from hours of non-stop work. "But Zaxar, you should know, the neural load could be too much for a single mind to handle. Whoever interfaces with the quantum nexus core might not survive the experience." Zaxar's forearms moved in a gesture of grim determination. "Then we go together, Dr. Chen. Our minds linked, as they were meant to be." As they connected themselves to the modified synapse synchronizer, Lyra felt a moment of fear. Not for herself, but for the alien being who had become so much more than a colleague. She reached out, her hand intertwining with one of Zaxar's upper limbs. "Whatever happens," she said softly, "I'm glad we met, Zaxar." The alien's skin pulsed with warm colors, a visual representation of emotions too complex for words. "As am I, Lyra. Now, let us rewrite the stars." With a deep breath, they activated the device. Instantly, their consciousness expanded, catapulted into the swirling vortex of the quantum nexus core. They were everywhere and everywhere at once, their minds dancing through the intricate lattice of reality itself. Through their combined perception, they began to understand. The quantum nexus core wasn't just a source of power, it was a test. A cosmic challenge set by the long-vanished cosmic architects to see if younger species were ready to take their place as guardians of the universe. With their human determination and alien wisdom working in perfect harmony, Lyra and Zaxxar began to unravel the complex quantum equations that governed the core. They were no longer two separate beings, but a singular consciousness, bridging the gap between their species and the fundamental forces of the cosmos itself. As they worked, the anomalies began to stabilize. The gravitational distortions eased, and the rifts in space-time slowly began to heal. On Novus Prime, colonists watched in awe as the chaos in the skies transformed into a breathtaking cosmic ballet. But the strain on their minds was immense. Lyra could feel herself slipping, her consciousness threatening to disperse into the vast quantum sea. Just as she thought all was lost, she felt Zaxxar's presence, an anchor in the storm of creation. With one final push, they completed the sequence. The quantum nexus core pulsed with blinding light, and then silence. Lyra opened her eyes to find herself back in the lab, her hands still intertwined with Zaxxar's. The alien's skin glowed with a soft, steady light she had never seen before. "We did it," Zaxxar said, their voice filled with wonder. "We passed the test." As they disconnected from the synapse synchronizer, alerts came pouring in from around the colony. The anomalies had disappeared, and Novus Prime was safe. But that wasn't all. Dr. Chen. Director Hale's excited voice came over the comm. "You're not going to believe this. We're detecting new subspace frequencies. I think we're receiving transmissions from other alien civilizations." Lyra and Zaxxar shared a look of pure joy. Their ordeal had not just saved Novus Prime, it had unlocked the next chapter in both their species' cosmic journey. As they stepped outside the lab, they were greeted by a sky filled with newfound wonders. The quantum nexus core had transformed into a shimmering network visible to the naked eye, connecting distant stars in a web of possibility. "What happens now?" Lyra asked, her voice filled with excitement and a touch of uncertainty. Zaxxar's skin rippled with patterns of joy and anticipation. "Now, my dear Lyra, we truly begin to explore. The universe has deemed our species worthy of its greatest secrets. Together, we will unlock the mysteries of the cosmos and forge a future brighter than either of us could have imagined alone." As the inhabitants of Novus Prime celebrated their salvation and the dawn of a new era, Lyra and Zaxxar stood hand in hand, their silhouettes framed against the cosmic tapestry above. Their journey had only just begun, and the stars themselves seemed to shine with the promise of adventures yet to come. The quantum entanglement crisis had been averted, but it had left in its wake a transformed reality, one where the boundaries between species, space, and time were more fluid than ever before. And at the heart of it all stood a human and an alien, their bond a testament to the power of unity in the face of cosmic challenges. As night fell on Novus Prime, now a shining beacon of interstellar cooperation, Lyra and Zaxxar knew that their story, and the story of their united species, was far from over. The universe, in all its infinite wonder, awaited. Temporal paradox nexus. The iridescent glow of the quantum nexus core bathed Novus Prime in an otherworldly light, a constant reminder of the cosmic transformation that had occurred. Dr. Lyra Chen stood at the edge of the newly constructed interdimensional observatory, her eyes fixed on the swirling vortex of energy that now connected their small colony to the vast tapestry of the universe. Beside her, Zaxxar's skin rippled with patterns of concern. "The chrono fluctuations are increasing, Lyra. The fabric of spacetime is becoming unstable." Lyra nodded grimly. In the weeks following their mind meld with the quantum nexus core, they had discovered that their actions had far-reaching consequences beyond their wildest imaginations. The unlocking of the cosmic network had not only connected them to other alien civilizations, but had also begun to tear down the barriers between past, present, and future. The temporal paradox nexus, Lyra muttered, her fingers dancing over a holographic display. It's not just a theory anymore. We're seeing actual convergence of multiple timelines. As if to underscore her words, a shimmering apparition appeared before them, a future version of Lyra, her face lined with age and wisdom. The cycle is completing, the apparition spoke, her voice echoing as if from a great distance. You must find the Chronos key before. The image flickered and vanished, leaving behind a lingering sense of urgency. Zaxar's upper limbs twitched in a gesture Lyra had come to recognize as extreme agitation. This is unprecedented. The appearance of your future self violates all known laws of causality. The temporal paradox nexus is growing stronger. Alarms blared across the colony as reality itself began to warp. In the distance, Lyra could see buildings phasing in and out of existence, alternating between futuristic spires and ancient ruins. Director Hale, Lyra spoke into her comm unit, her voice steady despite the chaos. We need to assemble the Chronos Synergy team immediately. The situation is escalating beyond our control. Within moments, a diverse group of human and alien scientists gathered in the interdimensional observatory. Among them was Dr. Elara Venn, a brilliant human temporal physicist, and Xylos, a quantumite from a newly contacted alien race known for their ability to perceive multiple timelines simultaneously. The temporal paradox nexus is causing a cascading effect across all known dimensions, Dr. Venn explained, her hands manipulating a complex 4D model of spacetime. If we don't find a way to stabilize it, the entire universe could unravel. Xylos, a being of pure energy contained within a humanoid form, pulsed with an eerie blue light. I am perceiving millions of potential futures converging on this point in time. The strain on the cosmic fabric is immense. Lyra felt a familiar presence in her mind, the lingering connection she shared with Zaxar from their experience with the synapse synchronizer. An idea formed between them, a synthesis of human intuition and alien logic. The Chronos key, Lyra said aloud, drawing the attention of the team. My future self mentioned it. What if it's not just a physical object, but a code? A sequence that could realign the temporal fluctuations. Zaxar's skin illuminated with patterns of excitement. Yes, and if we combine our synapse synchronizer technology with Xylos' multi-temporal perception, we could create a chronoharmonic resonator, Dr. Venn exclaimed, catching on to the idea. A device capable of tuning into the fundamental frequency of spacetime itself. The team sprang into action, their diverse knowledge and skills melding in a symphony of scientific collaboration. Humans and aliens worked side by side, pushing the boundaries of known physics and venturing into realms of science that bordered on the mystical. As they worked, the temporal distortions grew more severe. Outside the observatory, colonists reported seeing dinosaurs roaming the plains of Novus Prime, while others claimed to have glimpsed gleaming cities of an unimaginably advanced future. In the heart of the chaos, Lyra and Zaxar stood connected to the prototype chronoharmonic resonator, their minds once again bridged by the synapse synchronizer. Around them, Xylos pulsed with intense energy, channeling the information from countless timelines into the device. We're approaching critical resonance, Dr. Venn called out, her voice tense. Whatever you're going to do, it needs to happen now. Lyra closed her eyes, feeling the weight of all possible futures pressing down upon her. Through her connection with Zaxar, she could sense the intricate patterns of the cosmos, the delicate dance of cause and effect that governed reality. With a sudden flash of insight, she understood. The Chronos key wasn't a code to be inputted, but a harmony to be achieved. It was the perfect balance between order and chaos, a cosmic melody that could realign the fractured timelines. Now, Zaxar, Lyra cried out. Together, their minds reached out through the chronoharmonic resonator, Guided by Xylo's multi-temporal awareness, they began to weave a psychic tapestry, harmonizing the discordant threads of time into a coherent whole. The observatory filled with blinding light as waves of temporal energy surged through the device. Lyra felt as if her consciousness was being stretched across eons, witnessing the birth and death of stars, the rise and fall of civilizations, all in a single eternal moment. And then silence. Lyra opened her eyes to find the world had changed. The chaotic visions of past and future had vanished, replaced by a sense of cosmic equilibrium. The quantum nexus core pulsed with a steady, harmonious rhythm, its energy now a soothing presence rather than a volatile force. "We did it," Zaxar breathed, their skin glowing with patterns of joy and relief. "The temporal paradox nexus has been stabilized." As the team celebrated their victory, Lyra's attention was drawn to a shimmering portal that had formed in the center of the observatory. Through it, she could see glimpses of wonders beyond imagination, alien worlds, advanced civilizations, and cosmic phenomena that defied description. "The Chronos confluence," Xylos intoned, its energy form pulsing with excitement. "A gateway to all of space and time, now safely accessible thanks to the harmony you've achieved." Director Hale's voice crackled over the comm, filled with awe. "Dr. Chen, you're not going to believe this. We're receiving transmissions from across the galaxy and across time. Civilizations from the distant past and far future are reaching out to us." Lyra and Zaxar shared a look of wonder and anticipation. They had not only saved their reality but had opened up an entirely new frontier of exploration and discovery. "What now?" Lyra asked, her voice filled with excitement and a touch of trepidation. Zaxar's skin rippled with patterns of determination and affection. "Now, my dear Lyra, we truly become chrononauts. With the Chronos confluence as our gateway, we can explore not just the vastness of space, but the infinite possibilities of time itself." As the inhabitants of Novus Prime gathered to witness the dawn of a new era, Lyra and Zaxar stood hand in hand before the shimmering portal. The temporal paradox nexus had been transformed from a crisis into an opportunity, a bridge to uncharted realms of existence. "Are you ready?" Lyra asked, squeezing Zaxar's hand. "With you." "Always," the alien replied, their voice filled with warmth. Together, they took a step forward, crossing the threshold into a universe of infinite possibilities. The Chronos confluence sparkled around them, a testament to the power of unity, determination, and the unquenchable spirit of exploration that defined both their species. As they vanished into the portal, the gathered crowd erupted in cheers. On Novus Prime, now a nexus of temporal and spatial exploration, a new chapter in the cosmic story of humanity and their alien allies had begun. The universe, in all its infinite wonder and across the vast expanse of time itself, awaited their discovery. The adventure of Dr. Lyra Chen and Zaxar, once confined to a single planet, had expanded to encompass all of reality. Their journey through the Chronos confluence promised to unlock the greatest mysteries of existence, forging a future where the boundaries between species, space, and time were nothing more than stepping stones to greater understanding. As the portal shimmered with endless possibility, one thing was certain: the greatest adventure in the history of the cosmos had only just begun.